Good morning from Rhodes. As the ferry arrives, we're getting ready to go throw some pottery. So another morning on the Silver Spirit and another excursion. And this time we got out of our comfort zone. We were going to go and try our hand at throwing some ceramics.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
Kalimera.
Kalimera.
Kalimera is the Greek way how we say good morning.
Our guide for the day was Leftiris, or AKA Lefty. As we drove towards the studio, about 30 minutes or so, Lefty told us about the island, its history, and the importance of the clay of the island. In fact, one of the facts he told us was that the clay from this area that was used in the pottery that we would be throwing was actually used in the bricks used in the Hagia Sophia in Constantinople. Our teachers for the day would be the artisans at Bonis Ceramics. The Bonis father, son, and grandsons now are dedicated to keeping alive the pottery tradition of Rhodes.
Keep your fingers wet all the time to be able to direct.
Lefty narrated for us as one of the craftsmen fashioned a vase. Simple, right? This was going to be no problem.
A lot of different metallic tools to give the different designs, but above all the fingers. Without those you do nothing at all. The experience comes through the years. But the knowledge is something that it is given from a father to a son as a typical family art, and this is the reason why most of the designs remain the same. How he works, he puts the clay in the center. If you don't put it in the center, it's clay, and then with both hands, he's starting working inside out to formate the body. And then he is going to reach at the size that he wants to, and he's going to start squeezing the neck of that like a flower. Maybe some of you might think it's easy. This is what I thought when I was at the university. I tried to cut and the base will be ready. That's it. Now he's going to cut it off the wheel with a piece of a thread.
So we also had the opportunity to see these wonderful artisans who put the patterns on the various pottery pieces and in the paint as well, or the ceramic glaze. They work completely freehand. And the pottery work created by the studio runs from the beautiful porcelain smooth to the more rustic designs that are more traditional to the Isle of Rhodes. And a walk around the wraparound balcony also gives you plenty of insight into just how inspiring this land, the sea, the mountains are on this Greek island. So we would have the opportunity to create one of 4 different types of pieces today, from the super easy, a bowl, to a cup, a pencil holder, or even a small vase. Well, good morning. We're on the Isle of Rhodes and we're at a pottery studio. And before we start throwing, we're going to have a little ouzo and a little meze. And we've already had one accident with the ouzo here with Donna Doobie. So stay tuned, see how we do. Lefty assured us that ouzo was the way to become one with the pottery. So with that, Donna was first up to make a bowl.
Press only in the center and try to go down. Calm, easy, and press only in the center. Go down. He will tell you when to stop. Or you let him to do it. It's easy. Go up. Like you need to out-press.
Now, the nice thing about sitting side by side with the actual artisans who create pottery professionally is you're going to be assured to have something that you can take home that maybe doesn't just go into the dustbin, so to speak. The potter will always have the last touch to create you a finished piece.
You only go up, only one way. You start from the bottom and you do like this. Like this. Bravo.
Bravo, Donna!
All right, now I was next up, never having been on a wheel before. In fact, never touching a clay since I think I was in kindergarten and made the proverbial ashtray for the non-smoking parents.
How does it feel?
Really smooth.
So, let's take a look. Perfect.
These teachers were great and had a lot of patience with me. In fact, I ended up being able or allowed to touch my work of art a lot more than I thought I was going to be allowed to.
So no names.
So this was actually quite an interesting and I would say enjoyable excursion, and one of the most enjoyable excursions I probably had off of a cruise ship, because I think the hands-on involvement, the actually getting to meet, talk with, and learn from local artisans, and what we ended up with was an actual usable piece of pottery. Now, for an extra 20 euros, they would actually glaze the items so that you could actually use them, in fact, all the way to being dishwasher safe. And if you wanted to throw an additional 20 euros, you could actually pick a couple of colors and they would decorate and color your pieces for you. So we'll see what happens, because it also includes shipping back to us in the United States. So I'll post what our pieces look like when we get them back.
We always ask this.
Rex, this way, please.
This seems like a traditional thing.
So voila, my new wine cup. Can't wait to use it. As we headed back to the port of Rhodes City, Lefty told us a few tips about exploring the medieval city of Rhodes, but I had already done a little bit of research and had a plan for my after lunch. I had heard of a small cave where the Archangel Michael had appeared to locals on Rhodes, so I wanted to go find that cave and see my namesake. So I was going to be off while Donna enjoyed a massage in the afternoon. But first, I was going to fuel up on a bacon cheeseburger at the grill. It's one of the most picturesque port entrances probably in the world. So all fueled up on fat and carbs and my trusty iPhone in hand with a map of Rhodes City, I was ready to go out and explore and find the Archangel Michael's cave. Now, Donna, I think, was, well, like always, wise, because she had a massage scheduled for the afternoon, and she kind of understands what it's like to be on one of my death marches. Anyhow, going through the Virgin Mary Gate, I entered a beautiful medieval city of Rhodes. Yeah, so the sound of crows didn't fill me with great confidence that I was going to be able to achieve my goal and find out where I was going. But I kept wandering through the town as I was using it as a shortcut to get to the other side of the city and find the seashore where the cave was. There he is. To be honest, this town is so well preserved and is it just feels like you're walking through a movie set. And there's beautiful discovery around every single corner. On the map, it looked like the cave of Archangel Michael was only 1.5 miles away. And so my first goal was to find my way through the old medieval town to the moats and gates, and then head up the hill towards the ancient agora of Rhodes. Since on the map, it looked like the agora and the cave were right next to each other. The old stone cannonballs just beyond the moat, or in the moat, really. Step 1 achieved. I had found the gates on the north side of the city. Now all I had to do was figure out how to get to the cave. So I headed up the hill towards the agora. Now on the map, I noticed that there didn't look like there was a direct road, but for some reason in my head, I felt confident that maybe there'd be a trail from the agora to the cave. More of the stone cannonballs. And after 35 minutes, I reached the sea. Well, we're looking for the cave of St. Michael, but I have a feeling it's down there, and it might be a challenge to get there from here, but absolutely worth it. There's Turkey in the distance. And then this side we have the remains of a little temple. Okay, so iPhone maps don't sufficiently tell you the elevation from place to place, but undeterred, I could see the cave below me, so I knew that there's a way down. I just had to find a way. Okay, we found our way up the hill, and we might still have a chance of finding the Archangel Michael's cave. So, now on the ocean path, the adventure continues. Oh, behold. So after an hour or so of exploring and walking, success. Now the story of the cave is that a shepherd had seen a mysterious light emanating from the cave. And when he went to explore the cave further, found inside an idol of the Archangel St. Michael. And since that discovery, the cave has been a place of worship and pilgrimage on the island. Inside the cave, you're warmed from the heat from all the candles in the closed space. And there are taumata, or votives, that are left asking for a miracle or healing. It was a very moving experience visiting the cave. But now it's time for me to actually find my way back to where I started, back to the medieval city. All right, as you can see, we've successfully found our way back to the old town. The moat and wall structures of Rhodes City were pretty incredible. So this city was built by the Knights of St. John after they were forced to leave Israel in, I think it was 1291. Now, this incredible fort city was built and occupied by the Knights of St. John from the 14th to the 16th centuries. Now, this fortress never fell in battle, but it did fall after a fairly long siege where the town basically ran out of ammunition to continue the fight against the Ottoman Turks. So I guess it's no exaggeration to say that those Ottomans had some kind of balls. Yeah, I just couldn't resist. These cannonballs are left over from the siege of 1522 by Suleiman II. Idea of the depths of these moats. They're fair-sized trees that don't come to the top. Heading back down towards the port, I had the Street of the Knights almost to myself. It was delightfully absent of tourists. This was a perfect time to be able to spend some time with the 7 houses or inns of the Knights Hospitaller or the Knights of St. John. Now, to be a Knight of St. John, you needed to be from noble birth and be trained from a very young age. And the role of the Knights was to provide protection for pilgrims to the Holy Land and also provide medical services, as there was a hospital of the Knights Hospitaller. After the Knights were forced from Rhodes, they built another fort island on the island of Malta in the city of Valletta. Truly a special place. I mean, a medieval town that's not an amusement park. It's a place where people live in amazing condition. I left the ancient city out of the sea gate, or the maritime gate, and with the light getting low, it was just a wonderful way to end the Doobie Death March by walking along the seaside with all the fishing boats and tourist boats. All told, the Doobie Rhodes Death March was 5.75 miles. So I felt I definitely had earned my old-fashioned and some canapes that night, and met Donna in the lounge with Felipe on guitar. So for dinner tonight, we're back in Atlantide. Glass of wine in hand and frog legs. One of my favorites. Actually, it was a double appetizer night with some grilled octopus. And of course, Donna with her lobster tails. And what I had was the Mediterranean sea bass was excellent. So no time for any partying tonight or shows because we've got an early day in Ephesus and we lose an hour. So we'll see you tomorrow in Turkey.